Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Akim and Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This time, in the form of another edition of the Judgement Report, coming at you not live, coming at you on January 23rd, 2024. Got a couple, about, I think, 5 articles here that we want to touch on. And, once again, just, bringing light to the fact that the Lord is here, man. He's judgment is rolling out. And, hey, man, if you're not a part of this truth, if you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing, and a member of the elect, hey, you can get it. So, without any further ado, I'm going to start up with a scripture, all right? Amos 5:23 through 24. It reads, "Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols." Verse 24, and if we go and look up this word, we can go and look that up.
Viol.
All right, or viol. I said I pronounced it all wrong. Viol, or it's a musical instrument. All right. Basically, he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. Verse 24 says, "But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream." And that's exactly, what's happening these days is this judgment must, roll out. All right. And it's not that it may, it's not that it might, it's not that it should, it's that it will. All right. And it must run down. All right. There's a lot of wickedness going on in the world. All right. And all over, not just Babylon, not just AKA America. All right. Not just America. All right. But the whole world in general. You got wickedness here. All right. All of Europe. And a lot of the wickedness does stem from Babylon, all right, that Babylonian wine, all right, but these other places are doing it as well. Now, it might have stemmed from America, certain of these hobbies and things, but at the end of the day, hey, they're doing it as well. They want to be little mini Babylons. All these other countries want to be little mini Babylons, and when they don't want to be little mini Babylons, that's when that's when these nations are considered hostile to the United States. Places like Russia, places like China, right, and so on and so forth. Places like Palestine, all right, Muslim countries that are trying to hold on to their views. Not that they're right, okay, but they're those Babylonian wine isn't getting to them as much as it is with these other places. And there's people there that are still eating it up. All right, there's still people all over the place that are hit with this Babylonian wine. There's Babylonians everywhere, not just America. There's Babylonians everywhere. There's a lot of Babylonians in England. All right, acting the way as a Babylonian would, or as a American would. All right, if you look at Canada, all right, they have rednecks there that want to be just the same. They want to be just like America. They want to talk like America, walk like America, dress like America. When there's a trend in America, it usually makes its way over to these other countries, doesn't it? Yeah. You got to look at places like India. You over here in America, you have Hollywood. Over there, you have what they call Bollywood. Okay, which because they want, and it's that movie industry. They have all. It's that movie music industry, and they want to be just like America. That Babylonianism. All right, and judgment is not just going forth in America; it's going forth everywhere. All right, if you're a 2/3 or a heathen, you can get it. All right, the only one who's exempt from judgment is the elect. All right, because they've been predestinated, chosen before the foundation of the earth by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so that's how it is, and you don't like it, hey, you can get it too. So we're gonna start up with the first article. Now this is the one I had. You might have seen it in up in the top left corner over here in some of the lessons that I've been making because I've had it saved for a little bit. This is from BBC. It says nearly 90 dead after fierce winter storms strike the U.S. And you can see here that is frozen shut, man. That is wild. Okay, and I don't know if it's gonna give us a little bit of a video. And if so, we are utilizing this under the Fair Use Act. We can use it. All right, we don't make money off this. All right, we're not advertising on it. All right, we're just simply playing it for a report and for criticism. That's it. So let's go ahead and play it, and let's go see what we're looking at here. Now, this is in Michigan. God damn. And I've heard stories in Michigan they actually have to have a crew that goes and basically digs you out of your house. You know, because your front door, when it storms a lot with the snow, it can get above, you know, where you're able to even you won't be able to even push the door open. You'd be stuck in your house. So they got to go and basically chisel people out of their homes. Look at that, man. That's wild. You got ducks chilling in that water. You know that water's cold as shit. So, hey. Now you gotta imagine, that's just, you know, I can't even make out what that is. Is that like a lighthouse of some sort? It looks like it to be a lighthouse. It might not be, but it's so frozen I can't even necessarily make out what it is. But imagine if that was your house, man. Imagine if that was your house. It says nearly 90 weather-related deaths have been recorded across the U.S. after the country was pummeled with ferocious winter storms for the past week. The deaths include at least 25 in Tennessee and 16 in Oregon, which remains under a state of emergency following severe ice storms. Tens of thousands of people also remain without power across wide swaths of the country. And I used to live in Oregon. I'm actually curious what this looks like. I want to go see what it, I'll see if we can find some images. I mean, that does look pretty bad. But, I mean, I've seen, it doesn't look especially bad. You know, I grew up a little bit in Colorado, and this shit was pretty regular for us. Looking like that, hell, I mean, this even looks like pretty regular. All right, it's a little bit higher than regular, but I mean, we've been through it before, and I'm not boasting or proud. I'm just saying that just shows you the judgment of the Lord, because I used to live where it used to get snow. I've lived in Utah and Colorado. There's a lot of snow, man, a lot of snow. I used to have, at one point, it wasn't quite nearly this tall, but it was at least, you know, this tall. It was a little bit taller than that. Because I remember on me, it was up to my, you know, I don't know how tall this person is, but, you know, it's up to their kneecap. So I'm guessing, you know, it would be on me. I had to walk to work in something like that one time in Utah. You know, with my not quite as up high. It was a little bit below my kneecap, I believe. You know, but I had to wear like freaking like long johns under my pants, and then I had to wear like, you know, 2 pairs of socks. You know, I had to wear a jacket, and then I had M32 or one of those, you know, one of those big Vietnam field jacket, M65. I had one of these. You know, I had to wear, you know, a bundle up. I got it at a thrift store. You know, and so I had to have a big ass hoodie under this, and then this on over it, and then I had to throw my hood on over it, and I was still cold as fuck, man. I was like, it was, you know, something like this style, and I was still freezing my ass off, man. You know, and you know, at the time, my boss, you know, she saw me walking. It was like 5 or 6 in the morning, you know, and she saw me walking. She told me to get in. It was a small town. So, but man, it was cold. So yeah, man, if you can die out in that shit, okay? But it's surprising when you see, you know, things like that in Oregon, because that doesn't even look like an alarming amount. Now this looks like an alarming amount, but over in Oregon, you know, I've been through that stuff, as many of you brothers and sisters more than likely have. You know, if you've lived in a snowy climate, so that just shows you, you know, Lord can get you at any given point. A big storm, a small storm, or no storm at all. So it says tens of thousands of people also remain without power across wide swaths of the country, which means that, you know, that can lead to death as well, because if it's very cold and you can't get your power on to get you know, heating, or if you don't have like a propane heater or something that you can get it, and you're not really supposed to run propane heaters inside anyway. So, hey, It's terrible, man. Icy conditions are expected to continue into the middle of the week. It says a total of 89 weather-related fatalities have been recorded across the country over the past week, according to a tally maintained by CBS, the BBC's U.S. partner. It says while the death toll has been greatest in Tennessee and Oregon, fatalities have also been reported in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Washington, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New York, New Jersey, and elsewhere. In one incident in Portland, Oregon last Wednesday, 3 people were electrocuted to death, goddamn, when powerful winds caused a power line to fall and strike the vehicle in which they were traveling. A baby who was in the vehicle survived. It's wild. It says other deaths remain under investigation, including that of a person killed in a 5-car crash in Kentucky and 4 in Illinois. So in this case, a lot of these deaths not blah, 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 blah. A lot of the time, I guess in this case, the deaths aren't necessarily caused by, the freezing temperatures, but, by the storms it's causing, power lines to fall. People can't drive in snowy weather. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that people can't drive for shit when it's snow, especially if there's, what do you call them, tourists or visitors coming over at that time, and they don't know how to drive in those weathers. It's a deadly concoction. It says, a 5-car crash. So we got 5 people, most of them presumed to be homeless, died over the course of just 4 days in Seattle, according to the Associated Press. There you go, yeah, because laying on that concrete, man, you're going to get hypothermia, and hey, it's rough. It says in Mississippi, the weather has prompted officials to warn drivers of drive only if necessary and be aware of black ice on the state's roads. Colleges and universities in the state have delayed students' return from winter break due to the conditions. We don't have to continue to read on too much. I will read this. It says, while electricity has largely been restored in areas of the U.S. that lost it due to the winter weather, tens of thousands of people remain without power across the country. As of Sunday afternoon, the total included nearly 10,000 people in Oregon, 8,000 in North Carolina, 7,000 in California, and 4,300 in Kentucky. So, scary stuff, man. Hey, and that's part of the Lord's judgment, man, is these storms, this weather. All right, the Lord, you got to realize the Lord controls everything. Everything. All right, from the top all the way down to the bottom, and the storms are one of the things that he can cause. All right, so bear with me. I'm going to grab a drink, and we're going to grab a scripture that proves so. 2 of them, actually. All right, so Isaiah 28:2. Isaiah 28:2 says, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. All right, and you see here a destroying storm. Now, if you go, you try to go and get this, it usually gives an incorrect definition. It's usually not a definition, but it usually gives, Lord has someone strong and powerful, ready to attack them, someone who come like a hailstorm, like a torrent of rain, like a rushing, overpowering flood, and will overwhelm the land. And it's really the Lord's power that it's causing this. We can go and get the New Living Translation, or we can get the New International Version first. It says, see the Lord who has one who is powerful and strong, like a hailstorm and a destructive wind, like a driving wind and a flooding downpour, he will throw it forcefully to the ground. All right, and lastly, for this scripture, the New Life, not the New Life Version, but actually we'll get the New Life Version as well. The NLV says, it's basically the same as the GNT. What about the NLT? It says, for the Lord will send a mighty army against it, like a mighty hailstorm and a torrential rain. They will burst upon it like a surging flood and will smash it to the ground. So there you go. You got a couple different versions. So the Lord's got, he's got methods at his disposal. All right, he can do it himself. All right, and start up these storms, these things. He's got angels. He's got, he's also controlling Satan and his demons. So he can, have them roll out on someone or something or someplace, all right, and take it out. And the Lord can do all these things. All right, there's and we always, I try to keep these judgment reports, rolling with a little bit different scriptures, but of course, because of the nature of it, we're gonna get similar scriptures, and the Spirit's on me to just go ahead and get, because you gotta get Deuteronomy 32 and 39, because it's the Lord who's doing this. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And again, these Christians, we always have to get this, because these Christians always try to attribute everything to Satan. No, it's Satan. It's Satan. It's Satan. It's Satan. No, it's not always. It's not always Satan. Now you got to realize that Satan is a how do I want to say it? Satan is one of he's one of the sons of the Lord. He's basically a what would they call him? Not an intern. He works for the Lord, for lack of a better word. He works for the Lord. So if Satan did something, he didn't do it on his own free will. All right, he did it because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai commanded it. So said, hey, Satan, go and do this, go and do that, just as he did with Job. You Christians say you're oh so big into the Bible. Oh, we love the Bible, we love the Bible, we love the Bible, we love the Bible. Well, have you read the book? Have you read Job? Have you read about Job? Have you heard of the story of Job? Did you not hear that the Lord allowed Job to be tempted by Satan? Did you not get that? Did you not understand that? It's pretty plain. It's pretty clear. Okay, that Satan is working for the Lord, and that's how it is. So Satan's not going to be able to pull a fast one, or get one over on, or pull a whoop-de-doo on the Lord. It's not going to happen, man. The Lord knows what's going on. He's omnipotent. He sees all things. Here, and the Christians, they'll say, oh, God sees all things, but then they'll say somehow that Satan was able to sneak away and kill a baby. Oh, gotcha, Lord. No, that's not how it works. Satan's not going around, oh, gotcha, Lord, ha-ha, you turned your back. No, that's stupid. It's dumb. Thought you said that the Lord sees all things. Now you're saying that somehow Satan snuck away and killed a baby. That doesn't make sense. And that's because these Christians don't got it, man. These Christians don't got it. Yeah, and that's why you have to be careful who you're learning from, man, because you got to make sure you're getting the real, unadulterated, truth and understanding, and not some guy just saying some shit. Okay? And that's the other thing. People get offended when we say shit or damn or piss or ass. And oh, that's a swear word. That's not what swears are talking about. When you swear, you swear on something. You make a swear, all right? Not swearing. If you look up what the word swear means, what does swear? What does it mean to swear? To make a solemn statement or promise or undertaking to do something, affirming that something is the case. Like basically not like a vow, because you can make vows to the Lord, but basically, like just swearing on things, haphazardly. But down here they'll say a curse or a language, of course. No, coarse language is not swearing, okay? Coarse language is not a sin, all right? Saying shit, piss, damn, fucking asshole is not a sin, all right? We try, it doesn't sound good when you're fuck, of course, but it doesn't make it a sin. There's nowhere does it say that it's a sin to use harsh language. No, it's not. It's not a sin to use harsh language. And again, that's why you have to pay attention to who you're learning from, because these Christians try to bring things like the rapture, which doesn't exist in the Bible, or they say money's the root of all evil, which is not the case. The love of money is the root of all evil. They say, oh, when Eve bit the apple, there's no apple. There was no apple mentioned. Where's the apple? And there was never an apple. There was never an apple. All right, it doesn't exist. And these Christians, make things up, one after another, one after another, one after another, one after another, and then you believe it, man. You believe things that aren't there, in the Bible. There's a lot of sayings that are Christian sayings that just do not exist in the Bible. If and that's really a topic for another day, because we could go on and on and on about it, right now. And we'll just go look up things Christians say that aren't in the Bible. Let's see. There's certain sayings. That one. Cleanliness is close to godliness. Now, you're not supposed to be a dirty person, but they make it. They use these things in like a quote, like they try to pass it off as being from the Bible, and that's disingenuous. All right, when you try to pass something off as a Bible. Now, if I was saying, you know, I don't really like Coca-Cola, all right, and all that, that's one thing. But if I try to make it seem like the Bible saying you must not ever consume Coca-Cola, you know, then that would be disingenuous of me. Now, you shouldn't pollute your temple, and that stuff's fucking disgusting. You shouldn't be drinking soda, all right? But we're not going to say we never drink soda. We might have one every once in a while. Now, I'd really try to stay away from it. But, you know, last time I had a soda was at a Sprite at a wing store, and I was down on the strip when my mom came down to visit. So I was down on the strip, and they didn't have much. And I said, "Fuck it, I'll have a Sprite. Why not?" But on general, I don't have one. You know, I don't even generally have a soda every time I go out. Matter of fact, a lot of time I go out, I either get a water, or a lot of the time I get like a tea or a lemonade, all right, or a combination of the two, like those Arnold Palmers. You know, half tea, half lemonade. It's one of my favorite drinks. So, and I usually don't get a soda, but I can't at the same time. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say I'd never have a soda. You know, I have had sodas from time to time. I just try not to because I don't like the high fructose corn syrup in it. It's unhealthy. It's just not good for you, man. It's not good for you at all. But, you know, if I try to pass it off and say that the Bible specifically says no soda, that would be disingenuous of me. That would be, you know, teaching a false doctrine, because it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible. You won't find the word Coca-Cola, okay? You won't find the word Coca-Cola. You won't, all right? But it also does talk about not polluting your temple, which, you know, that we, unfortunately, a lot of things we have are pollutants, but, you know, you should try to, you know, at least do as good as you can, and not do it all the time, you know, not have a soda all the time, all right, every once in a while, you know, but it shouldn't be the only thing you drink. I've been even slowing down on the seltzer water. I've been just drinking a lot of regular water lately. Not that there's anything wrong with seltzer water, but it can give you an upset stomach and stuff, so just keep that in mind, man. Just, hey, look, these Christians, you got to make sure you're getting your facts right. You got to make sure you're getting your sources right, okay? And they don't teach you a lot of things that need to be taught. This is Psalms 83 and 15 through 16, again, touching on these storms. It says, verse 15, "So persecute them with the tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord." And as you can see, it's all through the Lord. It's all through Yahweh Shai Shai. All right, let's go ahead and get this in the Good News not the God's Word translation, the Good News translation. It says, verse 15, "Chase them away with your storm, and terrify them with your fierce winds. Cover their faces with shame, O Lord, and make them acknowledge your power." If you don't acknowledge the Lord, He will make you acknowledge Him. He will make you acknowledge Him. Let's get the New English translation. It says, "Chase them with your gale winds, and terrify them with your windstorm. Cover their faces with shame, so they might seek you, O Lord." Let's get the New International Version. That's not the one. Here it is. "So persecute them with your tempest, and terrify them with your storm. Cover their faces with shame, Lord, so that they will seek your name." And finally, let's get the New Life Version and the New Living. Actually, we got to get this one in, a couple different ones. It says, New Life Version, "So go behind them with your storm, make them afraid with your storm, fill their faces with shame, so they will look to your name, O Lord." And finally, New Living Translation, "Chase them with your fierce storm, terrify them with your tempest, utterly disgrace them until they submit to your name, O Lord." So there you go, man. So, hey, and the Lord will do that. And the Lord, you know, and visit. Let's get 2 Esdras 9:1. "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the Highest will begin to visit the world which He made." How is He going to visit? You know, with good things or bad things? It says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." And it says, "For like all that is made in the world hath beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." All right, so And it's talking about, the prophecies in verse 1, when thou see the part of the sign, when thou seest part of the signs past, all right, and these signs, and it's not just, earthquakes and uproars of people. There's more to it. It's all the signs that has been given to us. Those are just two examples, okay? They're and part of that, mass death, mass judgment, all right, those are things that are prophesied to happen, and it's starting to begin. It's happening, and people, refuse to acknowledge that it's the Lord, and the Lord's making his presence known, man. The Lord is making his presence known. So when you see things like this, what is this? More than 1,000 without power, so you gotta look, Scotland to be hit with 80-mile storm winds. So it's not just in Babylon, it's, hey man, places are getting messed up, and it's all through the Lord, okay? It's all through the Lord. So let's go and get, where do we want to go from here? I want to go with, Slacky. I was reading the title of, Elder Apostle Gabar's new lesson. It's even talking about judgment. All right. And remember we were talking about these Christians, all right, and teaching the wrong thing. His title is, I see brutal forms of judgment coming soon to these false teachers and to those who listen to them. And that's a scary thing. You got to realize these Christians they really think Jesus Christ is going to save them. They really think that. Hey man, the deceived and the deceiver are his. It's terrifying, man. It's terrifying. So let's go and get Zephaniah 3 and 5. It's kind of a stopgap in between stories. Zephaniah 3 and 5 reads, the just Lord, just. What does just mean? Let's go and get that in the Blue Letter Bible. Just. Sadiq.
Strong's H, 6662. Sadiq.
All right, Sadiq. Just, lawful, righteous, right, correct, lawful, righteous. Okay, the righteous Lord, and he is righteous. Zephaniah 3 and 5, the righteous, right? The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. What is iniquity? What is iniquity? Immorally or grossly unfair behavior, really sin upon sin, wickedness, right? He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not. He always does it. He never skips it. But the unjust knoweth no shame. Even though it's happening, these people don't care, all right? These people don't care. These homosexuals don't care. These Satanists do not care, all right? These drug addicts, these witches and warlocks, they do not care. They have no shame. They do not care. All right, but they do start to care. Their family members start to care when all of a sudden they're wrapped around a telephone pole, when all of a sudden they're lit on fire, when all of a sudden they froze to death, when all of a sudden this happened or that happened, or a telephone pole fell on them, all right, in the middle of a storm. Then all of a sudden they care. And these people that died, they were not innocent. I was innocent, my little baby. None of these people were ever innocent, man. They were never innocent. Okay, we got to go and get another scripture. Whoever perished. Let's go get it. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Job 4 and 7 says, remember, I pray thee, who ever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils they are consumed. Okay, so look, we went too far. These people are not innocent. All right, they are not innocent. Let me repeat, these people are not innocent. All right, and you can die without it being judgment. All right, old age, different natural causes, certain different illnesses even perhaps. But when it's very terrible, when it's bad, when you're freezing to death, when you're getting lit on fire and dying, and you're having telephone poles crush you to death, or that is judgment. That is judgment. What is judgment? We say judgment a lot, but do you know what it means? What is judgment?
Judgment.
I don't like any of these definitions. Definition 2 is all right. A misfortune or calamity viewed as a divine punishment. It's really a sentence against, evil works. You know what? Let's go and get, So yeah, we got Job 4 and 7. So these people are not innocent. Let's go and get, we were already over there. Let's go and get, I want to go see what Judgment has to say in here. Let's get the word here. Judgment. Alright.
Strong's H, 4941. Mishpat. Mishpat.
Mishpat. Alright. Judgment. Justice. Justice. The act of deciding a case. You did something wicked. What's your punishment? Judgment. Alright? Court seat of judgment. The sentence to judgment. Execution of judgment. Justice, right, rectitude. You know. That's, you know. A verdict, favorable or unfavorable, you know, pronounced judiciously, especially a sentence or formal decree, divine law, individual or collective, all right, including the act, the place, the suit, the crime, and the penalty, in this case is death, abstractly justice, including a participant's right or privilege, in this case, it's talking about divine law, you know, paying the piper. You did the crime. Now it's time to do the time. All right. In this case, you did the crime, and you got to pay the fine. What is the fine? Death, judgment, destruction by the Lord. Okay. So there you go. Zephaniah 3 and 5. Once again, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Boom, bam, bam. Let's move on to the next one, man. Right here. Not a lot of people are going to like this one. 5 kids, right? 5 children, as it should be. All right. 5 children dead in Indiana house fire. A horrific tragedy in our community. The youngest of the 5 fatalities was 17 months old, authorities said. And that's judgment. That's judgment. You don't just burn up and it not be judgment. Let's go and have, again, we're going to use this under fair use, all right, for criticism and for news and for reporting. We're allowed to use this.
Managed to suppress a significant portion of the fire on the first floor before moving to the second floor, where multiple victims were reported to be trapped. In total, 6 victims were extracted from the fire. Tragically, 5 of these individuals, all children, will later be pronounced deceased.
And so we will look to find answers in the days ahead and figure out how do we make sure this never happens again in South Bend or any community.
So there you go. There you go. Residential fire in South Bend, Indiana, Sunday evening claimed the lives of 5 children, authorities said. The South Bend Fire Department said in a news release that firefighters responded to 222, interesting, 222 North LaPorte Ave, where upon arrival they were met with intense flames that occupied the first and second floors of the structure. The department added that despite the conditions, firefighters contained a good amount of the fire on the first floor and reached the second floor where multiple people were found trapped. In total, 6 people were able to be rescued. Very interesting, man. 222 1 2 3 4 5 6 2 4 6. Very interesting indeed. Interesting. I wonder if they say how the fire started. What's this?
We start with breaking news. Right now, we are finding out more information
Fair use.
on a massive
Fair
house
use.
fire in South Bend. According to our
Fair
sister
use.
station, WNDU, 5 kids were killed and several others were hurt in this house fire. You see right here on your screen. Fire crews spent more than 3 hours trying to put out the fire on LaPorte Avenue. We're told that at least 6 people in total were taken out of the home, with first and second floors being engulfed with
6 people taken out of the house on 222. 6. Look. 2, 4, 5, 6. There's 6. How many people made it out? 6. That's a little interesting. Right? 6 people were able to be rescued. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. What time did the fire start? 6 p.m.?
Flames. A firefighter was also hurt after falling through one of the floors. He's expected to be okay. Meanwhile, one other survivor is recovering at a hospital here in Indianapolis. Of course, this is a developing story, and we will continue to follow updates and pass it along to you here on 13 News, as well as our website at WTHR.com.
13 News. That's very, 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 very interesting. We don't have to read too much. Like this one. Is this recent too? January 5th. 2 children dead, 5 other people critically injured as fire tears through Minnesota home. I really want to know what time, the age of the victims ranged from 17 months old to 11 years old. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Ha! Ain't that some shit? Crews responded Sunday to a residential fire at 222 North LaPorte Avenue at approximately 6:15 p.m. local time. You can't make that shit up, man. I was joking. I said, what time did it happen? 6 p.m.? So, 6 people came out of that house. The fire started at 6 p.m. and it was on 222 North LaPorte Avenue. 222 is 6. So 6 at 6 p.m. and 6 people made it out. Now they're saying 5:30 p.m. Well, why does it say 6:15? Well, they responded. Okay, they responded. It broke out at 5:30 p.m. That's what they say. All right, it was probably 6. All right. Look, it doesn't make up, man. It doesn't make sense. Look, the crew arrived, or they responded at 6:15. They fought the blaze for 3 hours. There's another interesting 6 and 3. Interesting. 6. It says here that crews responded at 6:15, but it's saying here the blaze broke out at 5:30. Now down here it's saying they were dispatched at 6:30 p.m. Huh? Which one is it? That's interesting. Keep that in mind with Esau's little trick. There's something fishy about this. I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a child sacrifice. Okay? It was all children. Alright? They were all under the age of 11. None of them were adults. Alright? The whole 666 shit's in there. You know. Keep that in mind. But regardless, alright, it is judgment. Regardless, it is still the Lord's judgment. Okay? Because in order for that to even happen, the Lord would have to been, not wanted those people around. Because if he wanted them around, they'd still be around, wouldn't they? Ecclesiasticus 32 and 24 through 30. These are some of the ways that the Lord can dispose of you. This is 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Okay, and that's the Lord. That's the Lord's ways. Okay, and that happens a lot with these Christians or these people that are unbelievers. All right, the ways of the Lord is very plain. All right, under the people that are in this truth that are trying to pursue righteousness and getting it. But it can become a stumbling block. It's not that it can. It will be a stumbling block to these wicked people because they don't know, why did God kill my kid? Why did God kill my kid? And they don't understand it. They don't get it. All right, and we're gonna get a scripture talking about that in just a moment. But verse 25 says, "For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners." How can they be sinners? They're just children. They're still doing wrong, all right? They're still doing wrong if they're eating pork, all right? Or if they were being taught with that homosexual lifestyle and they're okay with it, or it could have been something that they'd done in their past life. All right, that can happen as well, because reincarnation is a biblical concept. All right, and if you do something in your past life that you have not repented for, that's why we say we repent for the things we've done in this life and in our past life, because we don't know what we did. We have no idea what we did, so you have to repent in this lifetime. All right, because you don't want to get judged for what you did last lifetime. Okay, so and there's no new thing under the sun. We're under the sun. We are people. We're not new. All right, there's reincarnation. All right, we've proved it time and time again. Not just me, not me, but I'm talking about, the people in this truth time and time again. The people that are teaching time and time again. It has been proven by the elders, the apostles, the brothers, time and time and time and time and time and time again. Okay, so these people, these kids are not these children. Let me refer to it as children. I don't want to use Esau's term, kids, and they call them kids because they're like goats, sacrificial goats, right? So, but no, these children are they're not exempt from what they've done just because they're children. All right, the Lord's not a respecter of persons. Okay, we're gonna go grab that in a minute as well. Verse 26 says, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. Right here it says, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. Notice that fire was mentioned. All right, if you still don't believe, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made the spirits? The Father. All right, so whose wrath are they appeasing? Let you answer that one yourself. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Not judgment, but it says here vengeance. Let me start over. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So what was created for vengeance? Fire, hail, famine, death, right? Like verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And the modern day sword is what? The gun. What do we see here? A guy, shot and killed. This guy, that's judgment. All right, we got over here, this guy was killed. This was by a blast, I think, by a bomb. All right, look at this. 8 killed in Joliet, Illinois. Suspect dead. So not only did he take out people, all right, all right, but, all right, or I don't know if this was the guy, but not only did the person who shot take the person out, but the suspect's also dead. Romeo Nance is believed to have died by a self-inflicted gunshot. I guess this is him. All right. So, hey, don't want it. You don't want that smoke. You don't want the Lord's smoke, man, because he'll take you out in a million different ways. All right. We're gonna go and get Romans 2:11. All right, because, they were children. There's children, old people, young people, don't matter. All right, Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. He doesn't care how old you are. He doesn't care how young you are. He doesn't care how handsome or beautiful you are or ugly you are. He doesn't care. There's no respect of persons. You're messing around, you can get it. All right, so let's go and grab this. It says this. We're gonna, get through these. So, 8 killed in Joliet, Illinois. Shooting, suspect dead in Texas after manhunt. 7 people were found shot to death in 2 homes in the Chicago suburb of Joliet, Illinois on Monday, in what one official described as the worst crime I've ever been associated with. The suspect in horrific crimes, Romeo Nance, died of what is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police said Monday night after launching a search for the suspect. Police identified Nance, 23, after they discovered the bodies of 5 victims in one home and another 2 in a nearby residence Monday morning. The 8th person, found dead on Sunday in Joliet Township, is believed to have been killed by Nance, police said. We don't have to read too much about this. You get it. There's judgment out there, man. This guy's a demon. Let's see. Details of the 7 victims found were not immediately released. So keep that in mind. He was driving a red Toyota Camry. No motive has been determined. At least not as of yet, right? Let's get this one. And this one's just stupid. A Louisiana teen traveled to West Bank to learn about his roots. He was shot dead. My son is American before Palestinian, his grieving father said as he grappled with the U.S. government's role in violence in Gaza and the West Bank. Americans, us, our government, backs it up. This, look. Al-Maraza al-Sharkiya, or whatever, I can't pronounce his name, it's, or whatever this name was, West Bank, alright? Over there, and where? And over there in Palestine. He was born and raised in Louisiana, city of Gretna, across the Mississippi River in New Orleans. It's a long way from the mountains of the occupied West Bank, but when Tawfiq, I guess that's his name, in 17 arrived in May, he was excited to properly explore the landscape of the village where his dad grew up and learn more about his roots as Palestinian American. Why would you, I guess he didn't go there during, and that, you know, and that's judgment. Here you were, you know, fine in America, and you went over there and you got shot. You know, I guess he went over there in May, which I guess, you know, when did the Palestine War break out? I can't remember. Not that one. 1948. October. So yeah, he went before it broke out. Alright, he went before it broke out. And, you know, at first I was thinking that he went there in an active war zone, traveled to an active war zone. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. But he went over there before the war broke out, got stuck over there, and got shot. That's judgment, man. That is judgment. So, let's get Proverbs 28 and 5. I'm getting ready to close it out here. Proverbs 28 and 5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. These evil people, they're not going to understand why, you know, a child died or why a beautiful woman died, all right? But those that are in this truth are going to understand those things, okay? They understand the judgment of the Lord. They understand the Lord's not a respecter of persons. He doesn't care how old or young you are, you know? So, and people will say things against the Lord, but that's just because they don't like the way things go. Guess what? If you do the crime, you got to do the time. All right. And in this case, it's you did the crime, you got to pay the fine, and that fine for what you've done is death. All right. They're all fine to, you know, and that's the thing with people, man. They're all fine and dandy to go and do all the wickedness, do the wickedness, but they don't ever want to pay. All right. If you go to a store and you go and grab some chips and pie off the counter. Or the store shelves, and you eat them, you have to pay. You have to pay. You loved eating the Doritos and snacking on that pie, but when it came to pay, I don't want to pay. Well, then you shouldn't have ate it then. Okay? If you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have done the wickedness. If you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have done the wickedness, right? That's what, you know, it's that simple, man. That simple. And then here's this Edomite. Man on trial for killing young woman whose friends pulled into the wrong driveway says, my soul is dead. No, it's not. And this is the guy right here. All right. Defendant Kevin Moran left. All right. This is him. And he deserves to fucking he deserves to be killed because this was stupid. This was stupid. And you know, at the end of the day, it's the Lord's judgment. Okay? It's the Lord's judgment that is a spirit of vengeance that was put on this guy. Because this guy's story don't even make any sense. It's stupid. That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Let's read it. A man who fatally shot a 20-year-old woman after the car she was riding in mistakenly drove up his back county driveway in upstate New York testified on trial that he believed he was under siege that night and now feels like my soul is dead. You were under siege? Why the fuck would you be under siege? And this is Esau's persecution fetish. I've been persecuted. I was under siege, you schizophrenic fuck. What do you mean under siege? Who's coming to put you under siege? That's fucking stupid. I was under siege. You're under siege? Yeah, you had a military coming after you? This guy's an idiot, and you can see he just wanted to kill. You can look in his face, and you can see this is the face of a killer. He wanted to kill. He just wanted, I want to kill. I want to kill. And that's Esau. That's their mindset. They just want to kill. Any excuse. They buy a gun and they hope someone breaks in. because they want to use it. They want to kill. They want to kill. If murder was legal, Esau would have a fucking heyday, man. They would go and kill. Because it's not the fear of the Lord that's stopping them. It's just they don't want to go in jail and rot away. That's all. But if it was legal, these Edomites would be killing people left and right. They love to kill. It's their favorite thing. They love to kill. They love to kill. Right? So, and we don't even have to read much of this. We'll read this. Kevin Monahan, 66, took the stand in his own defense to end testimony in his second-degree murder trial. He is charged in the death of Kalen Gillis, who was riding in a caravan of 2 cars on a motorcycle that pulled into his driveway while looking for another person's house on Saturday night last April. Authorities say Monahan fired 2 shots from his deck, a second of which struck Gillis in the neck. It says Monahan, the Edomite, told jurors he believed his home in rural Hebron, about 40 miles north of Albany, was under siege and facing an invasion. Sure. It says when the caravan pulled up his long, winding driveway, he came out with a shotgun to try to scare the group away while his wife hid in the closet. Fucking dumb. And look, all excuses. My only job is to protect my wife. That's true. It says Mohan first fired a warning shot to let the intruders know he had a working gun. The warning shot to me is like starting a dialogue. It says he tripped over nails protruding from his deck while wearing flip-flops. He lost his balance and accidentally caused his shotgun to fire at the Ford Explorer carrying Gillis, her boyfriend, and 2 other young friends. I don't believe that. I don't believe you tripped and accidentally fired your shotgun. I don't believe it. I don't believe you tripped and fired your shotgun. I'm calling bullshit. I didn't mean to shoot the second shot. The gun went off. Did you pull the trigger? No, I did not. Sure. He was asked. He asked Mohan if he asked the people if they're lost or told them to go away. He said he thought if he said anything, it would make the situations worse. Fucking liar. Lord, and now he's got to go and set out his judgment, man. He's got to go sit in prison probably for quite a bit. All right? Or he might get off. He's an Edomite. He might just get off with it. But he's not going to exempt from the judgment. The Lord's going to get him back for that. Okay? And it's the Lord. It's all the Lord. Always has been. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? There you go. And I want to read 7 just because I like it. Verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. And you people don't understand it. You don't get it. You don't got it because you don't have the understanding. All right? Evil men understand not judgment. All right? And he hasn't revealed it unto you. You're not a prophet. It hasn't been revealed unto you. And you're not listening to the prophets. And look, man. These judgment reports, hey, they're always frightening. And they should serve as something to look at and say, hey, I'm glad I'm in this truth. And, hey, I want to keep doing what's right so that doesn't happen to me. I know I don't want it to happen to me, and I wouldn't want it to happen to you brothers and sisters out there either, man. So we got to, hey, do what's right to the best of our ability. We're not going to be perfect. Hey, and hey, you don't want to, look, this is what happens to the people of the world, man. This is what happens to the people of the world. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.